I welcome one and all to the seminar, technical seminar today, and I thank my teachers to be present here today for the technical seminar. They are the one guiding us for the process of our engineering. I would like to start off with the presentation. Welcome to the technical seminar. In today's world, from an infant to a aged person knows how to use a computer, and the development of computer has rising and it's continuous. There is no pause for the particular rise in technology. And first, I would like to talk something about the hardware of computer. Once the computer hardware was invented, they first used vacuum tubes in 1941, and the implementation of vacuum tubes, it used to consume a big hall as this for its implementation, and the number of users who were using this type of computer were very less, as you can see in the bar graph. And as electronics was developing day by day, there were transistors which were invented, and later they made use of microchips, and then right now we are in these are nothing but the generation of hardware. The first generation, second generation, and third generation, and fourth generation. Right now we are in the fifth generation, where we make use of microprocessors which are of high end and which can manage a lot of resources. And we actually come across two types of devices: the digital device and the analog device. These are nothing but digital devices which, for example, we can take our digital clock and analog clock. We can see that in a digital clock we can get the correct timing. Once we see a analog clock, it might sometime vary. We might not be we might be confused as to what the time is. If instead of the clock, I can give you a better example, like a thermometer. A digital thermometer gives us a constant value. Once it measures the temperature, a particular value will be given. And in analog thermometer, the measurement of temperature will be like, it depends on the user how he takes the reading of a particular person or a temperature. And the hardware systems like the input and the output input devices, the normal output device which we make use of daily, like the monitor, and the input devices like keyboard and mouse, which are very commonly used in everyday life, and these are not something very new to you. I think I'm talking everything very common which we come across in everyday life. And the central processing unit, as you know, it manages resources, allocates memory, and it is used for managing the network and all the other devices which are connected to a particular computer. And is hardware sufficient for a particular system to run?
No.
People.
No.
So we need something called as the software. The main thing which we need in a software is an operating system. Operating system mainly is used for managing the input devices, output devices, the disk drives, applications which we run, and they are very efficient. Operating system does all these things in a very efficient way, and the operating system has been evolving day by day. It's a never-ending process of evolution for operating system. Few other functions which operating system carry out, like disk management, memory management, device configuration. Device configuration is nothing but when you connect a device, for example, a pen drive. It needs to configure your device so that you can access any particular content or data on your pen drive. That is nothing but your device configuration. And file management is nothing but when you have a lot of files which are related to your application and your system files and any type of files which you have on your system, they need to have a particular table, which is nothing but a file structure table, which tries to make use of all the which carries out all the file management, and memory management is nothing but memory management. The different have you? I think all are familiar with this fragmentation. This fragmentation makes your memory management very easy. And interface platform is nothing but once you write a particular text document in your Windows file, and if you try opening the same text document in your Ubuntu or any other operating systems, you might find that once you have a enter key which has been used for in Windows operating system, you don't see it in other operating system. There might be some changes, but it helps you to open a particular text document on what you have created. And I think this I spoke a lot about the basics, and I'd like to tell something about a tie. Can anyone tell what you people get into mind once you think about tie?
Blazer.
Farewell. Symbol of connectivity. Okay, Karthik, he said that it's a symbol of connectivity, and then I think that's what I also wanted to tell. And then in our everyday life, we see a rise in technology. Every day we have new things. What we see today might be outdated tomorrow. So the technology which is growing is continuous, and it's rapid. In this type of competitive world, we need to have something called a calm and meditative environment of Zen, which will help us have a peaceful environment wherever we are. So,
The day they gave a group seminar. Group seminar then? Project seminar. Oh, okay.
you might be wondering right now as to this guy said something about hardware, software, and something about Tai, raise, and Zen of meditation. And it may sound hilarious, but that's how the word Tizen was formed. And that's my topic of discussion today. Tizen is nothing but operating system which is right now. Tizen is a mobile operating. It's an operating system which is right now in a lot of demand. Or we have seen many operating systems right now, and Tizen is one of the operating systems which is like gonna get something new when compared to that of the other operating systems. Now let me talk something about Tizen. Tizen, when, where, how, you might be wondering as to when Tizen or how the Tizen was came into existence. Tizen is nothing but open resource release of operating system. It was first the Tizen alpha version, which was it's not into the market. It's actually the development process, which was like started in January 9th, and it was like confirmed that they are going to start off with the Tizen in February 2007, and they released the Tizen alpha beta version, which was first platform for operating on Tizen. Actually, it's not into the market. It's just a platform which helps the user understand what exactly Tizen is all about. And you can see in the slide that the Tizen large scope, it's platforms source code where web APIs, course of I'll be discussing about all this in the further slides. I would like to give a small history of how Tizen really came into existence. Has anyone heard of Memo?
Finding Memo.
Memo. It was actually a operating system which was released by Nokia in late 2001, I guess. It was release of Nokia for an operating system of mobile E-Series E-Series 560. It was actually not of much into the market, and the talk was not much. And Nokia in another mobile operating system, Moblin, which was a release of Intel. Moblin was operating system which was made by Intel, and even Moblin didn't find its place in the market. So Nemo and Moblin both were like, they didn't find their place in the market, and they both integrated and formed another operating system called Nemo. Has anyone heard about Nemo at least?
Migo. It's Migo.
Mimo.
Migo.
Migo, sorry, Migo.
No.
Migo, it was another operating system, mobile operating system, which was released by Intel in cooperation with Nokia. Even Migo, it was like in 2006, which the Migo mobile phones were released. Intel actually built the devices which was required for Migo to support on it, and later Migo also didn't find much of a space in the market, and Limo, which was Linux version, Linux operating system. Actually, they built Limo, but they thought Migo was not much of a did the thing what the user was requiring, and it further came into combination with Migo and Limo, and in 2012. As I said in the slide, it was a beta version which was released, and Tizen was a formation of Intel, Nokia, Intel, and Linux Corporation. And later, actually, Bada was operating system which was released in 2011. At least Bada guys, Bada, Samsung Bada. It was actually an operating system by Samsung, and even Samsung, it found its place in market, and the sales was pretty much good. But there was a competitor called Android, which made the Bada OS to like find no place in market, and it was a flop in the market. Right now we find very little phones, mobile phones with Bada operating systems, and right now we have the Tizen SDK 2 released in the market, and it's like we can expect a Tizen mobile in the coming March. No, not March. May. In the month of May 2013. Few other companies which are involved in Tizen operating system are like Intel, Samsung, Orange. Guys, have you heard of Orange at least? Yes. A company which is renowned for its service in telecom. Intel, as everyone knows, it's a processor. Samsung mobiles. Docomo, it's again a service provider. Fucho is, I'll tell you about Fucho and have a later, and the few other companies which are right now involved in development of Tizen are Vodafone, Sprint, and many more. Before I talk about Tizen, let me talk about mobile operating systems. Mobile operating systems. Why did mobile operating systems come into existence? To support a mobile.
Application.
Smartphones. Yeah. We had a laptop which had almost all functions, but the size was big. We wanted a better portable type of system where we can have all our operations which we carry out in our normal day laptops on our mobile phones. So there were many number of operating systems which were released. I guess at least you know Symbian in this big screen and Android. There are very few operating systems which found its place in market. Like the iOS 6 right now, the Apple operating system which we are using is iOS 6, and then the Android operating systems. I guess almost everyone has an Android smartphones right now. And then BlackBerry, which was in cooperation with RIM, and later the Windows mobile phones which Nokia is right now operating on. Let me give you a comparison of all these 4 operating systems. In the overview, we can see that the big iOS user-friendly. Once someone buys a mobile operating system, he is not confused as to what he is supposed to find in the mobile, and he finds it easy to operate a mobile. And then in power usage, actually in iOS, the power consumption when compared to that of Android is very much high. It was because of the processors which they have used in the iPhones which we come across everyday life, and the apps, the quality and quantity. The quality of apps which are released by Apple is very much good when compared to that of the other apps, and the number of apps which are released into the market are also very high. And the other, we can see the comparison in the graph. I need not tell much anything about this. And the customization in the iOS, we can find that the customization is very little. User can hardly change only the icons which is present on the screen which we see. And in Android, we have something called widgets. We can customize the whole user interface. In BlackBerry OS, the customization is very low because user is not allowed to. User is allowed to just use what he is having in his mobile, and he is not given opportunity to change the way he needs it. And in Windows phones, I guess Windows phones, even it's finding its place in market because of high-end applications which they are releasing. This is analysis of smartphone sales. I guess everyone knows that Android is right now of high demand in the market, and the sales is also very high. And any guesses why Android is on a very high market sale right now?
User interface.
Less price.
Less price, okay.
User
Applications.
Applications, okay.
Around 5 lakh applications.
Yes, good user interface.
Okay. And it's like they had to release a lot of versions to keep themselves on the top.
Cupcake.
The cupcake,
Donut.
eclairs,
Ice cream sandwich.
gingerbread,
Honeycomb.
and the latest version is nothing but the jelly bean, which is into the market right now. And
Jelly bean.
Android, it's like the top in the market right now. Android is like, it has no other competitors right now. It's of high demand, and everyone is using Android mobiles. And do you think it will be the same even in the future?
No.
Even Android might find a fall. Before I go on, I would like to show a small video. I think Paul discussed something about OLED screen. Even this is a small ad which tells something about, not something about OLED screen. It's like a promotion, marketing strategy of Samsung for their smartphones. So,
ನಿದ್ದೆ ಹೋಗಿದೆ ಸರ್. Architecture. Architecture is the top. 20 minutes. ಎಷ್ಟು ಇದೆ? 20 ನಿಮಿಷ ಆಯ್ತು ಇವಾಗ. ಟಾಪಿಕ್ ಯಾರು ತಾಗಿಲ್ಲ ಇನ್ನು. ಯಾಕೆ ಯೂಸ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾನೆ? ಯಾಕಂತ ಹೇಳ್ತಾ ಇಲ್ಲ. ಕ್ಲೈಮ್ಯಾಕ್ಸ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಹೇಳ್ಬಿಟ್ಟು ಸುಮ್ಮನೆ ಆಗ್ಬಿಡ್ತಾನೆ ನಾಳೆ ಪಾರ್ಟಿಗೆ. ವಾಟ್ ಪರ್ಪಸ್ ಯೂಸ್ ನನ್ನ ಕೈ ನೋಯ್ತದೆ ಅನ್ನೋ ಕೇಸ್ ಹಾಕ್ತೀನಿ ನಿನ್ನ ಮೇಲೆ. ಯಾಕ್ಟ್ರಿಗೆ ಹೋಗುತ್ತೆ ಬಿಡ. Stamina, man.
I guess there's nothing much of audio in this. You can just understand seeing the video itself.
You want audio.
You will explain.
We want audio.
Put off your mic.
System ಅಲ್ಲಿ ವಾಯ್ಸ್ ಬರಲ್ಲ. Which that? I explained. DJ actor, hello.
Possibility of OLED screen, and they're planning to release the Tizen mobiles on this OLED screen. So it's one of the market strategies. Marketing strategies, sorry.
It was amazing.
And there is something called today's component, tomorrow's possibilities. Anyone can tell what? Can anyone brief out what this line means? Today's components, tomorrow's possibilities.
The carbon like
Okay, green computing, as Pragati discussed, and like many components which are right now in the market, they might find a different place
green computing
in the future. And continuing.
ಹೆಸರು ರಿಪ್ಲೈ ಮಾಡ್ತಿದ್ದಾನಾ
ಸಾಕು ಬಿಡೋ ಪಿಪಿ ಏನಪ್ಪ
I'll get back to Tizen right now, and I'd like to discuss about Tizen architecture. Tizen consists of a base layer, the Linux kernel. As I said, it was a Linux foundation which came in collaboration with Samsung for the building of operating system, and Linux kernel is the main base core of the architecture of Tizen. The Linux kernel, the Linux kernel and the device drives together form the base of the architecture of Tizen, and the core is nothing but the different applications, graphical UI, multimedia, the location, messaging, web, security systems, and the base for other applications to run, and connectivity like Bluetooth, Wi-Fi, infrared, and telephony, as you know, the calls. And PMI is like it's personal integrated media like your contacts, calendars, and many other personal information which we usually use in our systems, in our mobile systems. What makes this particular architecture different from the other operating systems? It consists of two application layers: the web application and the native applications. Web applications support us for running web applications on mobile phones. There are two frameworks which are supported for the web applications, the web framework and the web. In the web framework, we have something called W3C and HTML5. W3C helps us for the different features like video touch. CSS3 is nothing but the cascading style sheet, and WebGL. WebGL, guys, have you heard of WebGL?
Yes.
Web graphics layer.
Yeah.
No.
It's used for something called the graphical usage of a web application, how the graphics in a particular web application is. And in device, the Bluetooth calling, NFS and NFC and message, web running. Actually, if we start talking about the architecture, every one of these components has a lot to speak about. I can give a separate seminar topic on the web architecture, on the operating system architecture. The operating system is a huge collection of many applications, many programs, and native framework is like your native applications which you have installed, which you have a particular, when you install a particular application on your mobile, it's nothing but your native application which is present on your mobile, and it depends on your native framework and native application which we are using. And few of the other components of this native application are social content, locations, UX, media, web XML, and graphical design, graphics. I think guys, am I supposed to explain this?
No need. No.
And what makes the web technology on Tizen possible?
Flexible.
It's HTML5 which makes the web technology possible on Tizen.
What is Tizen?
Some of the features in HTML5 when compared to that of The other operating systems are HTML5 consists of new tags, JavaScript, new libraries, and support for CSS3. And it supports few of the new resources like video, audio, canvas, section, article, nav, Ruby, time, header, footer, progress. I think we have gone through a lot of HTML tags, but these are few of the new latest tags which are available in HTML5. And we have seen header which used to be like a messy thing for a coder to write all those things while starting off with a HTML program. It has been simplified right now, and the way the programming of HTML5 has also become simple. Now I'll discuss in brief about the framework overview. Tizen application uses application core framework and application core framework and RUA. It's like you have few of the applications running on your mobile, and when you need it, once you minimize and you need the same application to run again, the RUA makes it possible for your applications to reopen which you have used. And application utility library, like you have a lot of applications, few of the applications require few of the libraries for its operation, which is made possible using the email, and few of the other components which are required for the framework to have a complete structure, the database. And before anything starts off, we need something called as a daemon process. This begins the particular process to run whenever application starts off.
At least one match.
The important hierarchy are like foreground process, which we are currently working on, the visible process, the user sees on his screen, and the service process. It's like you're holding a particular process and doing some other process indirectly. Like you have a Bluetooth transfer going on in your mobile and you access your music player. This is nothing but the service process, and the background process, same as that of the service process, and the empty process. Empty process which doesn't hold any application activity. And the development tools which are used in Tizen are the Tizen emulator. It's like having a virtual, whenever we build a particular application on our computer, we need an environment of our mobile to run on our system. So Tizen emulator provides the virtual environment which is required for running, for developing the Tizen applications, or for further development of Tizen operating system. And Tizen development tools plugin, Eclipse. I think everyone has heard of Eclipse right now when we are doing our projects. So it's also required for particular application development in Tizen. And DDMS. I think one who are into cloud computing might be familiar with DDMS. Guys. And Tizen SDK, platform binaries and libraries, header files, IDE, tools like certification generator, emulator, smart development bridge, sample application platforms, install, manager, and license, which are managed in the Tizen SDK. And the 4 pillars of Tizen ecosystem. We saw many companies which were involved in Tizen development, and we can see here they are involved in what they are involved in: developers, operators, manufacturers, and end users. When it comes to the end users, only then it will be as to what exactly the Tizen operating system is. We are still awaiting the release of operating system, and Tizen has a lot to provide us. It has a mobile operating system. It's planning to release its version for mobile, laptops, printers, IVI, guys.
Passport line
IVI. It's nothing but interface variable. Interchangeable variable interface. It's used in our card devices, and it's like a tracking device for your particular system. Even that's based on implemented on Tizen. The few of the Tizen findings, what we find interesting in Tizen are Tizen uses technology like Java, HTML5 and Linux, which users are familiar with, and the development of applications are made simple and easy as the users are familiar with this type of languages. And as everyone knows, there will be a little effort which the user must put into learning what the operating system is all about. And Tizen doesn't have much of a limitation of current mobile platforms. As I forgot to tell one thing. It has support for Android applications and even the iOS applications. The OpenGL which we saw there, it's a layer which helps us to run even the Android applications and iOS applications on Tizen operating system. It offers a rich API of application development. Tizen may set a standard for mobile application, web applications, and the application development has not been easy. After seeing all this, I can tell that we have a near future where we can have Tizen implemented in all fields of our devices which we come across every day. And these are few of the resources which I use to
No question.
What is Tizen?
Okay.
Who is Tizen?
thank you.
Hey, Sumner.
No questions. Okay.
Hey, no question. Come down.
Sudarshan.
Who is Tizen? ಇವಾಗ 4 ವರೆ
Of course.
Wait and
That's
watch.
why I have took this topic for discussion, because Android has found a lot of applications which can be supported even on Tizen. When you have something which is much better when compared to that of other, when you have Android, iOS applications running on your Tizen, why do you need any other?
No more question.
Thank you guys.